Now, if a pregnant woman has an orgasm in the last 6 months of pregnancy, it can be disastrous for the child. Because during orgasm, the cervix opens. This is why doctors advise that if the birth is overdue, orgasm should help the child finally come. An orgasm is a crisis. The sphincters open, which facilitates mating. As we know, when it comes to orgasm, everyone has a practice, but unfortunately the theory is missing. So that's what we're doing now. Is everything still clear so far? Are you still following me? We are now making an orgasm. So, I know from experience, that I now have your full attention. Now, a man naturally reacts penile during orgasm. If he has a territorial conflict, then he's not impotent. Impotence is basically frigidity, so to speak. When a man has a territorial conflict, his libido is in the basement. He doesn't have the need. That's when women complain, "My husband doesn't want to anymore." That's what we're talking about now. Impotence is like a brutal separation. Not at the foreskin, but at the glands of the penis. A foreskin conflict would trigger a normal, outer skin program called phimosis. The foreskin program, phimosis, begins with a conflict of separation associated at the penis. For example, from a lover that was forbidden to a husband. He's not allowed to have his lover, and his foreskin can narrow in on him. That is, the foreskin can constrict. But this is not the brutal separation, this would be the impotence. Also, in young boys, the foreskin is not yet detached from the glands. If they manipulate it, they can injure themselves, and it will scar. That's why you have to intervene surgically under certain circumstances. But in an adult man, foreskin constriction is a separation conflict. A 30-year-old tells us he had phimosis. When he was 5 years old, his mother was tearing at the foreskin, while he screamed, "Mom, stop, stop." Today, he can penetrate a woman with no problem when he's on top of her. But when she wants to take the initiative with him, that's when he gets on the mom track, and that's when he falls over. That's impotence. Now, a left-handed man has the Knight's hop of the conflict over to the left side of the cerebral cortex. But, even though the penile orgasm response comes from the right side of the brain, the left-handed man must also respond penilely. Therefore, Hamer concluded, that to ejaculate, a left-handed man must first have to get his left relay into a crisis first, and the crisis is like an active Hamer focus in quality. That means that for the duration of the orgasm, which is the crisis, his left female side closes. This allowing him to get his second, right side relay into the crisis. His second conflict must strike on the right. Therefore, he can only now get the right relay into the crisis. So, Hamer thought that left-handed men have both relays in crisis simultaneously, during orgasm. A left-handed man should therefore feel an orgasm more intensely than right-handed men would. But this is unfortunately difficult to measure. I once had a humorist at a seminar, who was biologically right-handed. When he heard about left-handers have more intense orgasms, he started clapping his hands on the left. But that wouldn't help him, of course. Either you're left-handed, or you're not. When the left-handed man suffers a loss of territory, when he is beaten down by the alpha, he now has a territorial conflict. Left-handed men get into primary psychosis, immediately becoming manic. That's what we call macho, by the way. The macho pretends to be the boss. He shows up in a Porsche cabriolet and fancy sunglasses, but it's all bought on credit. And he is exaggeratedly masculine. With this man, his libido is not in the cellar, because he has his right relay free. The right-handed man has the first conflict on the right. And with that, his libido is gone. With the left-handed man, it is not. And watch out, the alpha is not a macho man. The alpha is a balanced man. A macho is the manic one. Of course, there are also right-handed machos. They are constellated and manic. But the left-handed one becomes manic with the first conflict. For a man, a single territorial conflict is enough for him to become gay. Of course, homosexuality has something to do with conflicts, because one thing is clear. Homosexuality cannot be inherited. Simply because they cannot reproduce in a homosexual relationship. Yes, they try again and again, but it just does not work. This is nothing at all against gays. On the contrary, I think quite pragmatically. It's one competitor less. So for all I care, they could all be gay. I don't have a problem with it. There are more women available for me. Let's start with a right-handed gay man. With a right-handed man, his male, right side closes with the first conflict, while the female side of his brain remains free. By the way, nature doesn't concern itself with whether he lives out his homosexuality or not. Nature is only concerned that he is not responsible for reproduction. That's what it's all about. This outcome can also be differently formulated. For example, if a softie goes to bed with a pill-taking masculine woman, there are effectively two gays in the bed. It comes back to the same thing. The crucial thing is, he does not reproduce. That's what nature cares about. But this coming out business? Look how gay I am. That's just to destroy the family. Because it forces the majority, straight people, to have to follow the minority, homosexual people. Otherwise, you're immediately accused of discriminating. Certain people arrange it the way they need it. I'm talking about those who seek to rule us. They want our society to lose its culture and end in Sodom and Gomorrah. They would like that. Okay, back to the right-handed gay man. The penile orgasm relay is blocked, but the anal is free. He is feminine and has a female role in a sexual relationship. Meanwhile, with the left-handed gay man, one territorial conflict is enough, and he can be gay, too. But he is anal orgasm blocked and penile orgasm free. The left-handed man is manic, is masculine, and has a male role in a sexual relationship. And now the constellated gay man. Whether he is right-handed or left-handed. If he is depressed, he is feminine. Then his penile orgasm relay is more blocked than his anal orgasm relay. And he, therefore, has the female role in his relationship. The manic gay man, conversely, that's the masculine gay. He's more blocked anally than penilely. And he, therefore, has the male role in his relationship. In our village, there's a gay couple. I don't know if they're married or not. The manic one, you always see him walking his dog. He's at every party. But his partner? He's depressed, you don't see him, and you don't hear him. By the way, that's a characteristic of all manic people. They annoy and torment you all day long. And the depressives? You don't see them, and you don't hear them. That's their characteristic. Gays sometimes think that only they can really experience the anal and penile orgasms at the same time. That overkick. That love ecstasy. But women can also experience that, if they have no conflicts in the territory. It's the alpha woman that can react anally, vaginally, and clitorally at the same time. This is not reserved only for gays. Now, the bisexual man.
Germanische Heilkunde is considered the greatest discovery in the history of humanity, by those people who have understood its underlying principle. While classical medicine is based on more than 5,000 hypotheses, the Germanische Heilkunde can be considered as the only medicine, which is scientifically verifiable. With Germanische Heilkunde, for the first time in the history of humanity as we know it, there is a medicine with which any patient case can be reproduced in a strictly scientific manner. More than 30 different universities have already confirmed this in the past. Nevertheless, the discovery of Dr.Hamer has been suppressed and denigrated for over 30 years. Take your health into your own hands, and learn about Germanische Heilkunde, while you are still healthy. Helmut Pilhar, one of 3 lecturers, officially appointed by Dr. Hamer for Germanische Heilkunde, offers you an extensive and complete seminar collection for this purpose, which is now also to be translated into the English language. This knowledge will change your view of conventional medicine, forever. You can find a direct link to Helmut Pilhar's seminar videos in the description, below this video.